All right, our new segment, Top Talkers. And with us today, three esteemed colleagues. Esteemed, I say.
Esteemed,
yes.
wow.
Steve Lloyd from the Team 1200, Candace Drover from Majic 100, and Codi Jeffries from the afternoon show on 93.9 Bob FM. Good morning to all three of you.
Good morning.
Hello, hello. I want to talk about the city's new plan for garbage. Bi-weekly pickup. Maybe we'll start with you, Steve, with a not small family.
Yeah, I'll be signing up for the diaper pickup.
Yeah.
Because I think it's interesting that, they're launching the bi-weekly now as we head into the winter season. Could you imagine they did it in mid-May and people weren't ready for that with the garbage and the heat? And if you have young kids like I do and you're still in Diaperville, I think that is a must-do. You must sign up for that to get that picked up weekly.
Does this affect you, Candace? Are you living in an apartment or a house?
I do live in an apartment building, but I find I'm a little bit more cautious, especially when it comes to recycling, because I do find a lot of people just throw everything down the chute and they don't pay attention to what's going in the bins.
Listen, this has caused us to talk about what goes in our garbage. It's not always pretty, and it's, you know, you've got babies, right, and animals as well. Cody, when you're
Why
talking,
do you look at me?
Because of the cats.
5, what?
You have
Cody,
5
the
now?
cat lady.
But
So,
I'm not crazy, I'm living with someone.
yes, it's okay. Now, tell me about the garbage and how that will change for you. Are you putting out a ton of garbage this week?
Not really. We live in the country, so already our recycling is every 2 weeks there, so that's fine. And our garbage, I mean, we don't really fill it up that much aside from, because we do recycle so much, the litter, it's daily, but it's not a lot, so.
Do you get the sense that this is a ploy to get people to use the green bin?
Yes.
Definitely. We're spending $7.5 million a year in taxpayers' money for Orga World, and we're not even reaching the 80,000 tons that we're supposed to be reaching on a yearly basis with that. So definitely, they say we're going to save $10 million a year by going this way, but don't forget we're spending 7.5 for a program that's not. We're getting maybe 35% out of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and of course, the green bin will continue on a weekly pickup. Candace, you've worked in Eastern Ontario and not necessarily happening in Kingston, but I know in Belleville, if you have more garbage than allowed, so they have a limit on bags, you can actually buy an extra tag for that. Would you have any issue with that?
No, I don't think so. I think this is a good program to implement. It really forces people to take a look at what they're throwing in the garbage and what they are recycling. And it's really easy just to go to the city website and just print off what can go in the green bin. Just stick it on your fridge and kind of take an extra look at what you're throwing out.
Yeah, well, the thing is right now we're at 6 that they're talking about, 6 bags every 2 weeks. And there's real talk going in the direction of 4 every 2 weeks. What are your feelings about that? You think it's a bit... Is that appropriate? How much garbage is going out of your
I think
house?
it's a good idea because, like Candace said, it does teach people how to recycle more and use those bins that we're supposed to be using, as opposed to just putting our plants in them or something on the side of the road or something, you know.
Yeah, it becomes a different issue. You spoke about diapers. With how many bags are you putting out per week right now?
Oh, 2.
You're putting out 2.
Yeah, I've got 2 kids in diapers right now.
So and
yeah. Well, one is almost out.
Right.
We're just crossing our fingers. We're just doing the overnight thing, but the other one is full on, pretty much a baby still. So yeah.
So it's an adjustment going on. Is there more garbage in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Have you had your pickup this week yet?
It's tomorrow.
Okay.
And I changed to Mondays. That's the biggest thing in my world. But next week we change in our days, and that's the thing I'm most curious about. I think we're going to have to sign up for that program for the time being.
You think there's going to be any fallout for this? People using dumpsters that aren't theirs to throw extra garbage into? Will we see an increase in that?
I think in the country people are going to be burning a lot more because that's where I live, and people are already starting to burn their garbage. Yeah.
That's an environmental issue at the very least. Another issue talked about in the city in terms of changing how the city works a little bit are the one-way streets downtown, and they want to encourage people to live downtown and bring maybe a consumer base back to those downtown businesses. And we're talking about changing one-way streets possibly to two-way streets. O'Connor is one of the thoughts, Metcalfe as well. And the idea is to slow down traffic in these spots in order to make it more pedestrian friendly. Would that tie up our downtown more than it has been, or is that a great idea?
I'm kind of of 2 minds, but I understand the concept of it, but aren't we trying to get light rail on the go because it's too tough to get in and out of downtown? And now we're going to make it tougher to get in and out of downtown. People going to work by getting rid of these one-way streets. I mean, which is it? But I do understand trying to make it safer for pedestrians, and there was a time in this city's history where those were two-way streets. So I could see it's a pilot project. I could see giving it a shot here, but I'm curious about getting in and out of the downtown core, because don't forget, people go in and out of the downtown core of any city to work,
right?
And it's busy 2 times a day, and that's the reason why we've been how many years going with light rail here, trying to ease that.
Yeah, well, that's an ongoing story, no doubt about that. Candace, you live downtown. Is that something you'd like to see, 2-way streets, or?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out the streets in this city, and I've come across, because I'm still fairly new here, I've come across a lot of 1-way streets. Switching them back to 2 ways, could that cause more accidents in the future because people are used to going 1 way?
Right.
I don't know.
Speed seems to be an issue with that along O'Connor, especially. It's a corridor where people are flying along.
Yeah.
2-way streets, Cody, your thoughts?
When I first moved here in '99, that was the people's biggest complaint to me. 1-way streets, you get lost all the time. You go up and down the wrong way. That is, I mean, people move here, they're going to get lost, and people already living here are now going to be even more lost because the 1-way streets will be 2-way streets, and it's going to be a lot of confusion, I think.
Another issue of Top Talkers. Want to thank my guests, Steve Lloyd, Candace Drover, and Codi Jeffries. My thought on the city of Ottawa, it's already difficult enough to drive around here. The following rivers, it's very difficult. All right.